warm hello, namaste, vanakkam, and namaskaram to all the wonderful listeners out there. Let me begin by wishing you all a very belated New Year wishes. As we all know, 2020 has been an eventful year that most of us wish never happened in first place. The economic and human devastation that transpired across the globe so rapidly due to this deadly pandemic is a grim reminder to each one of us to not take our fragile life, peace, material luxuries, and any semblance of order in our daily lives for granted. All it took was a tiny virus to bring down most of the nation states to their knees. Most superpowers were humbled, and their fragile healthcare systems exposed dangerously. Having said that, as ever, the raw survival instincts of the humanity kicked in to an overdrive after the initial shock and awe of this biological monster. It was this primal instinct to survive which helped humanity develop a vaccine in a record time. Each one of us who is alive today ought to be thankful to not just the alignment of our stars, but also the healthcare institutions, the scientific community, the generous philanthropists, and the enterprising private companies too, as they've been working day and night in a race against this deadly virus. I think the least we could do to honor the personal sacrifices of the essential workers across the world is to make sure we don't get complacent and expose ourselves along with our loved ones around us to unnecessary dangers. Let's keep the mask on for a little longer. Now that's out of the way, I welcome you back once again to Ithihasa, an Indic history podcast, and the season Vijayanagara. In the last month or so, many loyal listeners had reached out asking me if the season Vijayanagara had ended in 2020, as no new episodes were released after the December of 28th. I guess most listeners have become tuned to the clockwork-like release schedule that I had followed for the last 40 episodes. So it's understandable for listeners to wonder if the show had ended, or if it had fallen victim to the killer phenomenon of pot fading, which is very common in the podcast world. I guess I should have called out in my last episode of 2020 that I was taking a small break in the beginning of 2021. A break from the episode production process in order for me to attend to some important commitments with my work and family. Also, I wanted to use this 2-month break to not only recharge my batteries, but also give me some breathing room to plan the rest of the season. If listeners remember the very first season introduction episode, I had promised that I shall not put out half-baked content. I would rather delay the episodes than put out content that doesn't engage the casual listeners or the hardcore history lovers out there. The season Vijayanagara and the Ithihasa podcast has received so much love and kind admiration from many wonderful listeners out there in 2020. Admiration for its unique style of delivery and the well-researched content. I was humbled by many listeners from India, Germany, and USA telling me how they binged on the Foundation series or the entire season itself. So to all those asking me when the next episode is or what it is about, I can assure you that it's going to be a very interesting one. There is still a lot of ground to cover and many stories to be told. We will be resuming the season Vijayanagara in 2021 with a mini-series that will delve in depth into the implosion of Sangamas, Saluvas, who were like a flash in the pan, the tussle with Deccan Sultans, the rise of Krishna DevaRaya, and the epic showdown between the Gajapatis of Orissa and Vijayanagara. There is going to be intense drama, action, intrigue that's born out of the insatiable ambitions, greed of powerful men of that era for glory and power. Like never before on any other Indian history podcast, the story of Vijayanagara will be unraveled on the Ithihasa Indic History podcast. Whether you're a first listener, casual listener, or a loyal listener, you will not be disappointed. And with this, I shall end the show update episode. A huge thank you for taking the time to listen to the show. I hope to see you soon in the next episode. Till then, this is Narendra Vikram, your host and narrator, signing off. Hope you have a great week ahead. Stay safe and healthy.